The power didn't just go out, it abandoned you. Not the fun batteries either. Not the AAs in your flashlight or the half-dead power bank in your jump drawer. The important one, the one keeping medicine from turning into warm soup. The one holding back a clock you can't see but absolutely feel. 2 days. That's all you've got before chemistry starts making decisions for you. You remember that generator you bought just in case? The one that's been peacefully aging in your garage like a forgotten bottle of regret? Yeah, the fuel inside it has already fossilized. Those solar panels you proudly installed, they're hooked to a battery bank that's been quietly decomposing since day one, smiling for the warranty period, rotting right after. And right now, while it actually matters, you're discovering something unpleasant. Modern preparedness gear doesn't fail accidentally. It fails on schedule. They sold you survival as a subscription, but buried underneath the marketing fluff, past the tactical zippers and influencer gear lists, are 3 technologies that absolutely refuse to play that game. They aren't illegal, they aren't secret, they're just inconvenient for anybody trying to keep you dependent. A battery chemistry older than your great-grandparents, a material that tells heat to go die somewhere else, and a communication network with no kill switch. Let's dig them up.
Part 1. Every off-grid setup I've ever seen has the same weakness: a ticking electrochemical corpse. Lithium packs stacked neatly like future liabilities. Lead-acid bricks sweating quietly in a basement corner. AGM batteries wired together in a way that looks permanent until it isn't. You think you're building resilience. What you're actually building is an expiration date, because every battery type you're encouraged to buy is designed with an internal exit strategy. Let's start with lithium, the current golden idol. Fast charging, lightweight, great on spec sheets. And internally, it grows metal spikes. Literally, every charge cycle breeds microscopic lithium needles that inch closer together like prisoners tunneling under a fence. Eventually, they meet. Best case, the battery dies. Worst case, your power wall becomes a hostile flare that water politely refuses to extinguish. And even if you never use it, lithium still decays just sitting there, quietly bleeding capacity like an unattended wound. 5 years in storage, and you've lost a solid chunk. 10 years, and you own an expensive doorstop. So maybe lead acid, right? The reliable one. Except lead acid slowly poisons itself every single time you use it. Crystal buildup, plate erosion, acid vapor. Freeze it once, and it shatters like tradition. You can baby it, you can pamper it, you can whisper affirmations to it in the dark. It'll still die. Which brings us to the battery the industry pretends never happened. Patented in 1901, designed by Thomas Edison. The nickel-iron cell. This thing doesn't age, it just exists. Its electrolyte doesn't participate in self-destruction, it just conducts ions and minds its business. The active material swap rolls back and forth endlessly like 2 immortals killing time. Overcharge it? It shrugs. Drain it to 0 and forget about it for a year. It naps. Freeze it solid? Thaw it. Keep going.
There are nickel-iron batteries over 100 years old that still function. Not sort of. Not with reduced capacity. They just work, out of spite. You could leave one in a shed for decades, refresh the electrolyte during the apocalypse, and hand it to your grandkids like an heirloom. So why aren't these everywhere? Because they're heavy. And because they end customers. Lithium sells replacement cycles. Nickel-iron sells one goodbye purchase. That's unforgivable in an economy powered by planned failure. Part 2. Frozen smoke that bullies winter. Let's say you solved power. Great. You still freeze to death because cold doesn't need permission. The outdoor industry insists warmth equals bulk. More puff, more loft, more marshmallow cosplay. That's not how heat works. Heat isn't the enemy. Heat escaping is. And it escapes in 3 ways: conduction, convection, and radiation. Traditional insulation mostly fights one of those and loses the other 2 the moment moisture shows up. Which is why people wrapped in expensive gear still die quietly in wet conditions. Now enter a material so stupidly effective it feels like cheating. Silica aerogel, also known as frozen smoke. It's almost entirely air, trapped so tightly at the nanoscale that air molecules forget how to behave like air. No circulation, no conduction. Radiation gets humbled. A few millimeters of this stuff can outperform inches of down. You can hit one side with a blowtorch while holding chocolate on the other, and nothing happens.
NASA uses it. Spacesuits use it. Mars rovers trust it. Your jacket doesn't. Why? Because gear that thin, light, waterproof, and permanent would annihilate seasonal apparel sales. Aerogel doesn't wear out. It doesn't clump. It doesn't care if it's wet, frozen, folded, or forgotten. You can buy jackets using it right now. You can buy flexible sheets and line shelters or sleeping systems. Once installed, it just keeps insulating physics forever. Part 3. Power? Solved. Warmth? Solved. Now, communication. Most people think radios mean safety. They're wrong. Analog radios don't talk discreetly. They announce. Every transmission is an invitation. Hey, I'm here. Come investigate. Line of sight, no routing, no privacy. And encryption? Often illegal where it matters. That's a problem. Which is why Meshtastic exists. This isn't radio chatter. It's a decentralized text network where every device is both user and relay. No tower, no server, no permission. Messages hop intelligently across nearby nodes, over hills, through towns, around obstacles. Destroy one node, the network reroutes. Add more nodes, it gets stronger. LoRa radios sip power so lightly they can survive on small batteries and solar scraps indefinitely. And the messages? Encrypted. No carrier, no metadata harvest, no corporate kill switch.
This is communication based on physics, not policy. You don't subscribe, you participate. And that's precisely why you never see ads for it. A network nobody controls is terrifying to systems built on control. Notice something? Every technology that actually solves a problem permanently gets buried. Not outlawed, just quietly ignored. Because an independent person doesn't generate recurring revenue. A Century battery breaks replacement cycles. Aerogel breaks seasonal shopping. Mesh networks break telecom monopolies. None of these are forbidden. They're just inconvenient for people who prefer you renting survival instead of owning it. You don't buy independence. You understand it. Power that outlives you. Warmth that ignores winter. Communication that cannot be silenced. These aren't gadgets. They're exits. Physics doesn't care about marketing. Thermodynamics doesn't accept sponsorships. And radio waves don't obey corporations. The system isn't hiding the truth behind walls. It's hiding it behind noise. Stay curious. Stay difficult to control. And remember, entropy always wins, unless you learn how it cheats.